Good morning, all of you.
Good morning,
Yes, sir. Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Whether I'm audible,
Yes, sir.
shall we start the class? Actually, in the first class, we have discussed with the syllabus. Then we started our definition and the nature feature in the second class. Yesterday, we studied about the fundamental concepts of managerial economics. Today, we are going to discuss about what is the significance of managerial economics and what is the scope for managerial economics, and finally, what are other subjects involved in the managerial economics. Let us start with significance of managerial economics. Actually, significance in the sense how important it is and what are the concepts involved in the managerial economics. The topic which we studied in managerial economics, how far it is useful for decision making and forward planning in a business. So some of the topics I have listed, and I'm having this particular table shows the left side there is a economic theories and concepts, and in there is a business. For that we are to take the decision and forward planning. How this economic tool is used in decision making. For example, suppose you want to start a business, then what type of product you have to produce? You decide the product X you are going to produce, but how much you will produce, what type of product, what quality you will produce, for whom you have to produce, for all these things you should answer. For that, we need a basic economic concept called demand forecasting. Without knowing what is the demand for your product, it is not possible to produce the product. If you keep on producing something, then how the people production is meaningful only when consumption is made. So the very first thing that we have to mention here is the significance of managerial economics. Start with the demand forecasting method. So to start a business, we should know about the basics of demand, especially demand forecast. What will be the future demand for this particular product? How much I have to produce? How to produce? What to produce? For whom to produce? All these things, it will be easier for us to decide when you conduct the demand forecast. Once you decided this is a product and this may be the possible estimated number of products required in a future period, the next best option is cost estimation. That is, for producing that much product, how much cost it is involved. Different types of costs you should exploit: fixed cost, variable cost, standard cost, out of packet cost, opportunity cost, actual cost, book cost. There are a list of different cost concepts. So those cost concepts help us to take a decision and implementation of those decision in a business. So the significance plays that cost estimation gives enough significance for manage economics for the decision making process. The third one, what I have mentioned here, is a theory of work. There are three different theories. One is manage economic theories, second one is behavior theories, the third one is some models. All these things definitely very helpful for taking a decision in a business. Then the fourth one is the risk and uncertainty. What may happen in the next 2 hours that we don't know. Yes, we may say, it may happen. Only the may happen we can say, but this is not going to happen. Nobody can say. That is why there is an uncertainty in the future. The business may shine or it may end up with a flap. What we can do? So the risk and uncertainty we should know. In order to manage this risk and uncertainty, we should have basic knowledge about the business. What type of risk that you are taking, whether that risk will give the required profit or it will be end up with a negative effect. So all these things is available in economics called a risk theory and uncertainty theory. which may be helpful for taking a decision and implementing those decisions in a business. So the next best topic is economic view on business accounts. So the economics give room for the managers in order to maintain the accounts. So this will be helpful to take a decision. Then once we complete the demand and we have estimated the cost and we know what is the basic in the theory of firm, and we are slightly projecting what may be the risk and what will be the reaping benefit out of that particular risk, all these things we are having. With this basic knowledge, now we start the production. Once we start a production, we should know what are the production theories available. That production is how to construct a production, whether it is linear or non-linear or homogeneous, or if it is constant elasticity or Coke Douglas. There are variety of production functions are there. These knowledge makes the manager to take a effective decision in the business. Why we are taking that particular decision? For two reasons. One is maximizing the profit or minimizing the cost. For these two reasons only, people are taking a decision. What are the two decisions? Optimization. So the economic theory and concept related with the profit is very much useful for taking a decision in a business. So this particular profit, as a iterative of a profit theory, there is one particular technique or tool, we may say, that is called BEP. BEP means break even point. What is break even point? There is no loss, no profit. We should know this particular point, then only whether the firm can able to achieve a profit or he may incur the loss. So this is a separate topic where we can study the break even point, break even chart, the safety margin, targeted profit, how to get that particular contribution value. All these things are possible in that particular tool called break even analysis. And supplementary to the maximizing profit, there will be a minimizing of cost. So this is also available in the economic theory. So once we complete about what is the projected profit or how we are going to implement the production process, then we have to fix. There are something for fixed asset, something are working capital, and some value for the rotation. All these things we used to study in cost of capital or cost budgeting. This is available in economics, which is very useful for the business. After all, what we are going to do, our product should be demanded. For that, we have to gain some profit through by fixing a price in such a way that cost plus some percentage of profit. For that, we need some basic idea about the elasticity of demand, especially the price elasticity of demand. How much price is be affected because of the demand, or how much the demand is affected because of change in price. This kind of knowledge will give elasticity of demand. In that particular topic, we are having different type of elasticity, like how the demand is influenced with the price, how the demand is influenced with the income, how the demand influenced with the related product. It may be substitutive or it may be complementary. So all these thing, there is a material elasticity demand is there, advertisement elasticity demands are, production elasticity is there, but our syllabus covers only four. What are they? Price, income, cross, and advertisement. After all these things, we have to market the product. Without knowing what the market structure is, it is not possible to market the product, because what type of product in a fish market you cannot sell the vegetables. In a vegetable market you cannot sell the fridge. So there is a different market is there. What type of market it is, then whether it is accessible, or for each thing how many sellers, how many brothers, what type of product, whether the price uniformity is there. All these things we studied in the theory of market. In that theory of market, there are four structures called perfect, monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly. There are, apart from that, three more is there, but our syllabus covers only. So all these market structures is available in economic theory and concept, which are very useful for taking a decision and implementing those decisions in a business practice. Finally, there are some methods and strategies which are used by the entrepreneurs in order to improve or expand the business. In those things are available in economic theory called pricing methods and pricing strategies, which will be the backbone for all business decisions. So whenever they ask about the significance of managerial economics, you have to answer like this. That should be 4 part. What is the 4 part? First one, you have to make some introduction. Introduction in the sense, first you say manage economics is a branch of economics which deals with the business affairs. Then in the next part you should say what is manage economics. You have to define, write the definition according to Spencer and Siegelman within inverted commas, though 21 words. What are they? Manage economics is an integration of two things. What are they? Economic theory and business practices. Economic theory with its business practices. Then we have to say the purpose. For the purpose of facilitating, what we are going to facilitate, another two things: decision making and forward planning. Who is doing? By the management. So you have to be very thorough with this definition. Managerial economics is an integration of economic theory with business practices for the purpose of facilitating the decision making and forward planning by the management. This is the second part. Then coming to the actual part of the answer called significance of managed economics. So draw this particular diagram. In the left side, you just say the list of economic theories and concepts. In the right side, it is the decision making and forward planning. In between that, for as far as demand analysis concerned, demand forecasting, law of demand. Then cost estimation and cost concept. Then theory of firm, risk and uncertainty. Then production function, optimization, both maximizing the profit or minimizing the cost. Then break-even analysis and cost budget, cost of capital, price elasticity, market structure. So in that, what are all the things that you are available? Even you can go through the syllabus, these concepts are there. Just write that and then connect that. If you write that and then finally conclude that the significance of managerial economics is wider when compared to other economic. Why? Because it is very useful for taking a decision and implementing those decisions in a business practices. You conclude like that, then you can secure full marks. So now I have completed what is the significance of the managed economic. Next, we have to go the scope of managerial economic. This is a section C question. What we discussed in a previous in a significance, it is a section B. They never ask section C, but this particular scope now they will ask in the section C. So minimum 5 headings should be there. That too, minimum 50 words for each heading should be there. Scope is nothing but the area of application. What is the content of managerial economics? Where it is applied? What are all the concepts that we are discussing? How it will be? For example, if you do some degree, then what they will ask, what is the scope of this particular degree? Based on this degree, where you can be able to employ, where the place where you can employ is the scope. So in the topic which are included in the managerial economics, where it can be applied, if you say, then it is called scope. Otherwise, you can say the content. What are the content of that particular subject? Then it is called scope of that particular subject. So as far as the scope of managerial economics is concerned, I have listed 5 subheading. Sorry, 6 subheading I have given. The last one I have added. First one is demand analysis. Before doing any business, you should know what is demand is. Once demand is decided, then we go to cost analysis. You have to estimate the cost. What type of cost that you have to incur, how to construct the cost function, or what will be the cost of capital, how the cost, the different cost concept influence the business. All these things you should know in the second one. Then once cost is decided based on the demand, then you go for the production. So production analysis should be there. There will be a production theory, production function, and different theories, economics of scale, diseconomics of scale. All these things are coming under production analysis. So once you produce, the next one is you have to go for search for the money value. Why? Because you have to invest. You have to do the production process. So investment analysis should be there. Where we can get the money, where we can get the reduction, and how we can maintain the working capital. What are the fixed assets that we have to afford for completing the production process? So the fourth one is investment analysis. Then why we are doing all these things only for the fifth heading, for profit analysis? Whether if I do this business, I can get the profit or not. For that, we should know what is the break even for my business. Based on that break even only, there are different profit policies have been constructed, different profit tools have been constructed, and there will be a report for profit planning. Whether we are targeting the planning or we are going to achieve the planning, sometimes we may lose. Why? Because in order to capture the market, so that is also your profit policy only. Why? Because in order to capture the market, the profit margin will be reduced purposely in order to evade or make others to get out from the market. We have to plan something. All these things coming under profit analysis. Other one of the important topic in profit analysis is called marginal costing. What is the additional revenue or additional cost we are going to incur because of one additional product is produced? That concept is everywhere, and all the subject will give importance for that particular topic called marginal costing. In that marginal revenue, we have to study marginal cost will be studied. Based on this marginal cost and marginal revenue only, the equilibrium will be achieved. In the later units of our syllabus, definitely we will discuss the importance of marginal costing. Finally, the scope is under the market. We should know what are the different types of market structure available. The managed economics include that. There are broad two categories. One is perfect and another one is imperfect. Under perfect, there are two type of market: perfect competition and pure competition. And in case of imperfect, it is duopoly, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. There are 4 markets. Totally 6 market only. We are going to study. Our syllabus covers only perfect, monopoly, monopolistic, and oligopoly. So when they ask about the scope, then you have to write what is the scope of managerial economics, and these are the 5 headings. In that area, this is the area of study, and these are all the topics that we are going to study. If you draw this hierarchy means flow chart. If you draw this hierarchy, you can score full marks. Similarly, I'm saying the same way. When section C question is asked, just the hierarchy is not enough. So what you have to do, you have to write one introduction. That is, what is managed economics is. Then you should say what will be the scope. In that scope, what are all we are including? There are 6 different analysis. Number 1, demand analysis. Number 2, cost analysis. Number 3, production analysis. Number 3, investment analysis. Number 5, profit analysis. And finally, the market structure. Then first write the subheading and explain one by one. How you have to explain? The demand analysis includes law of demand and elasticity of demand, and difference between different types of demand called demand distinction, demand forecasting. So these are all the things that we included in the demand analysis. Write one paragraph. Similarly, for cost analysis, we are how to construct the cost function. What is the relation between the cost and output relation? Whether it is a short run or long run. How we have to estimate the cost. These are all the things that have been included in the cost. Make one paragraph. Similarly, for the rest of the 4. Then after that, if you draw this particular hierarchy, then all 20 marks. Somebody is hearing song.
Sound. Sound.
Finally, what are the subjects
Forward,
involved in the managerial economics? Shall we continue? All of you, please mute your.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. போயிட்டாங்க என்ன பண்றது போயிட்டாங்க என்ன பண்றது நான் சொன்னமா
ஸ்கிரீன்ல மூவ் பண்ணி கீழ மைக் வரும், அதை ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கலாம். Let me continue. What are the subject contributors for managerial economics? I already told you, managerial economics is not only include the economic concept, it also include the non-economic concept. Why? Because this subject is meant for how to take a decision and how to implement those decisions in a business. So only economic concept is not included. Some concept from accounts like final accounts, management accounts, branch accounts, consignment, joint venture, all these things are included in the managerial economics. Why? Because this is we have to maintain the record. Now for that, the manager should have this knowledge. So the managerial economics include all these account concepts. Not only that, it has been included with the operational research concept like linear programming, optimization technique, queuing theory, assignment problem, transportation problem, graphic theory, game theory, all these things have been included because of, in order to take a decision in a business, we need all these things. So some concept from operation research also included in that. It is a very main subject called statistics, because when we want to calculate a mean value or median value or mode or standard deviation, all these things, we need some basic knowledge about statistics. That is why the manager economics include almost all the concepts, especially the measures of central tendency, the measures of deviation. Deviation is standard deviation, quartile deviation, mean deviation, all sort of deviation. That is why I just mentioned measure of deviation. Apart from that, correlation, regression, test of hypothesis, sampling, design of experiments, all these things are also included. Why? Because this will be very helpful while discussing about what type of decision we can take. Whether our decision is correct or not, this statistical interpretation will help us. That is why in managerial economics, we have included the selected statistical concept have been included. Not only statistics, but also the mathematics. Why? Because the mathematics is a base for the statistics. Probability theory, simple interest, how to calculate the compound interest, how to calculate the profit, or some real analysis, complex analysis, all these things also included in our managerial economics. That is why the manager is having a very wide scope in business. Not only that, some theoretical part also includes a marketing concept is included in managerial economics. In case of business administration, we used to call it as material management, production management. What is by material management? When you start forecasting the demand, how to maintain that, how to preserve that, how to make the inventory control, all these things coming under material management only. This particular material management is included in managerial economics. The material management is the branch of managerial economics. Similarly, once we enter as a material manager, then we should also include the production management, because why we are acquiring the raw material in order to produce. While you are forecasting the demand, then you have that much level you should produce. So production planning, production control, process layout, production layout, all these things are also included in the managerial economic. Once again, I am telling, it is a section B question. You should write 4 parts. What are they? First, you should write an introduction about managerial economics. Then in the second part, you should mention that the managerial economics not only include the economic concept alone, but it also include the other subjects which are useful for the business. What are the other subjects? Say few subjects like accounts, stats, maths, operations research, marketing, so on. But minimum 5 you should write. Here I have given 7. You have to write any 5, and then others. In conclusion, there are many other subjects which is also used in managerial economics for the sake of taking a decision in a business. So with this, I am completing my class. Have any